What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Sports to the Wire. For those of you who are actually new to the channel, I am your host, Rashid. My boy on the other side of the panel, my co-host, football analyst over here, Beric.
What's up, guys? What's the deal?
All
Always a
right,
pleasure.
all right. As everyone can actually see on screen, there should Brad Stevens or Danny Ainge be responsible for the Boston Celtics blunders there, because this is a team that was on the precipice of actually going to the NBA Finals in a sense, though, and there's been a huge drop off, especially as LeBron James actually exited the East Coast and went west. He says, "Go west, young man, go west." He went west, and so there's a lot of chattering out there that Brad Stevens is the person that's primarily responsible for all this mess right here. But I think Barrick and we have a different approach to that, a different take to that. We're looking at Danny Ainge. Barrick, take us off, man.
Well, listen, the bottom line is this, brother. We're going to start like this. Danny Ainge, over the past 12 years, I could be off a year or two since he's been in a position, the GM position there at Boston. He has been responsible for a lot of successful seasons, including the NBA championship in 2009, when they formulated the big three: Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, obviously, the truth. But over the past couple of years, decisions have been made. And now you have a situation where you might just be getting eliminated from the playoffs, if not tonight, tomorrow night. The bottom line is this, brother. You're going to have to always start from the top, because the coach has to take the players you provide them. And if the players that you provide them don't have a huge success because you can't coach them, then the coach is responsible. And this is a problem in Boston because it's going back and forth over there. I'm giving you the players, all right? I went and got you star players, and yet we're still having problems. So at this point right now, when things go bad, you have to put the pressure on the coach, because the players have been given to you. Now they've been injured. What can you do about that? We know injuries are part of the game. But right now, if you're going to have a problem in Boston, if it's that bad, and you're not making the playoffs every year, things of that nature, then both Danny Ainge and then Stevens both have to be done. That's not happening right now. What's happening is the GM is putting together the team, and I'm sure Rashid's going to allude to the team himself.
Oh yeah.
But the coach has to be the one that coaches them up and puts them in the best position. Let me tell you something about Mr. Stevens, and I'm going to put it out here right now. Brad Stevens is a great basketball X's and O kind of guy. He's great, very intelligent, basketball savant in regards to a head coach. But he has a difficulty of leading men. He has difficulty of galvanizing. He has difficulty of putting them in place to be successful. That's where the problem is with Brad Stevens. You can go and say Danny Ainge is a problem too, but when he puts together a team like he has over the past 5 to 6 years, I mean, you have Jaylen Brown, you got Tatum on your team, you have Kemba Walker, you have 3 major players on your team. Now, you did let Gordon Hayward go. I get that. Gordon Hayward had that freakish injury 2 years ago, and he hadn't had an ability to kind of restore his ability to score the basketball. We get all that. But you still have a good 3-man nucleus team over there. A team that is capable of winning 40 games. Why haven't they won those 40 games? That's the biggest problem. So you can say Danny Ainge is the problem to a small degree, but I'm going to put most of it on Brad Stevens. Why? I just said it. I'm going to repeat myself again. Because he's a great X's and O basketball head man, but he has a difficulty of leading men, of galvanizing. That's not Brad Stevens' strong point.
Well, all right, hold on. Let me get this camera going back over here, man. All right. My camera's acting crazy right now, man. It's not standing still. Hold on, I'm gonna fix it in a second, though. Listen, let's look at the roster over here, man.
Yeah, just covered most. I just covered some of it.
Over here, man, because listen, they let Gordon Hayward go for nothing. You know, you got to get some kind of compensation for these guys. Kyrie Irving allowed them to walk, and you're replacing them with guys. Let's look at this roster over here real quick, man, because let's see here. Boston Celtics team info. All right. So Kemba Walker's been hurt. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, these are young players, man. You can't ask these guys to become real, true impact players, man.
They've been in 3 years already, bro. They've been in 3 years already.
They normally, I mean, if you look at the history, they normally don't start becoming real, true impact players to about 27 years old. I mean, they have 1 year of college, and there's so much more faster.
Tatum had a great year 2 years ago. What happened? We're making excuses for Tatum now?
Yeah,
he had a fantastic year 2 years ago. What happened?
Smart has been in and out of the lineup, but he's not the greatest.
Okay.
And the rest of these guys, I mean, Taco Fall, I think the game is just too fast for him. I mean, he's 311 pounds. Sheesh. Yeah, he got to lose some weight, man. I mean, damn. Yeah, no wonder he can't get any burn on the court. But I mean, Brad Stevens, they let a lot of guys. Brad Stevens, Danny Ainge let a lot of guys go, man. He let them go. He didn't get any kind of compensation for these guys.
Hayward was your biggest guy that he let go, and I covered them. Hayward was the guy he let go.
Too. I mean, if you knew Kyrie wasn't going to sign, I mean, there was, he wasn't happy. All this drama actually went forth with the team, and he wasn't getting along with the other players, and vice versa. When I don't really think that was the case. I just think it was more, you got guys going from rookie contracts until like maybe their 4 or 5 year contracts, and they're looking to actually score the most points as they actually can and make the most money as they can. So that was kind of hindering them in a sense, though. So same thing with Terry Rozier, who actually was looking like straight garbage today in that playing tournament, man. I mean, jeez. I think halftime, 6 points. But you wanted to be the guy that replaced Kyrie in a sense. So you wanted to be that guy because you had one good year. But you just look at this roster over here. It's a lot of guys with limitations. And if you have guys that can't shoot, they ain't gonna just these players and these coaches today, you're playing the same people. They're not gonna let you go to your strengths. I mean, you can't go left. We're gonna keep forcing you left. We ain't gonna just keep letting you go right, go right, go right, go right. So if these guys have limitations to their games, that's going to be a problem for Brad Stevens there. You can't put that all on Brad Stevens. He didn't construct this roster, and it's not his fault that these players who actually foreseen Kemba Walker getting hurt. I mean,
listen, like I told you before, injuries are part of the game. This is the team you assembled. When Kyrie left town, because obviously neither one of them was meeting eye to eye. Okay, from Danny Ainge to Brad Stevens to Kyrie Irving. That was a bad matchup made in hell. They had to break that up, okay? So you had to appease the fan base. I always tell you that. Because if you're going to let a player like that leave town, you're going to have to replace him with another star caliber player. In comes Kemba Walker. Again, like you said, who was going to see the injuries? We didn't. But Tatum and Brown both ranked in the top 20 in minutes per game, okay? Both of them. And they both recovered from COVID. But battling both bad knees. So, I mean, you're going to put that on Danny Ainge or you're going to put that on Brad Stevens? All right? Come on. So, you really can't put all that on them. Some of these things are beyond their control. All right? You had to do the best you can when Kyrie left town. I think by signing Kemba Walker was the best thing they could do. All right?
Yeah, but I mean, I still think you could have got more pieces for Kyrie once you actually seen
who was available. Who was available?
I don't know. I'm not going to go back and do all the research.
Okay, that's the whole thing.
For Kyrie, and then you let Gordon Hayward walk. I mean, you lose him in free agency for nothing.
That was a problem. Danny Ainge made a mistake on that. Yeah, you got to get something back in return. But again, you let Kyrie leave town. You replaced him with Kemba Walker. Well, I mean, you didn't do bad. That wasn't a bad situation. You didn't do bad.
Yeah, but you still kind of gambled, and that was a free agent move in a sense. So it wasn't a trade; it was a free agent signing.
Yeah, it was a free agent move, but you're replacing him.
Didn't want to come to Boston. That's a gamble right there. If you
didn't want to go to Boston, Who didn't want to go to Boston?
No. I said suppose if Kemba didn't want to go, he had options.
Suppose, that's right. Suppose,
So,
but he chose to go there.
Though. You were that you was living on a prayer there, like Bon Jovi would say, living on a prayer. And you wasn't sure wasn't sure if he was going to get Kemba Walker over there. So if you actually trade Kyrie for another guard, a promising guard in a sense, though, I mean, I think it would have been much better get somebody that was younger, and just the Kemba Walker thing didn't work out. I mean, he still is having issues with the knee. So hopefully he doesn't actually have to abruptly retire over this.
Yeah, the bottom line is, I think the general crowd is going to blame Danny Ainge for this. Danny Ainge probably has, maybe caught too much of his own fire or brought his own smoke in a sense. All the great signings he had years past.
Yeah, the draft picks and how he faced the Brooklyn Nets. And you got Jason Tatum, but again, it takes these guys it takes 5 years, man. They only had 1 year college.
But their win total has been pretty good. Their win total's been pretty decent year to year, even though they've had problems along the way. They're in the playoff tournament. They were in the playoffs before. I mean, the bottom line is you have to look at the fact that Boston is not like bottom dweller. This is what raises the eyebrows. Yeah, what can they do to get better?
In order for Jaylen Brown and Tatum to get to that next level, they actually have to start making other players around them better. I see Tatum a lot of Mamba mode in a sense. He gets the ball. What's the word? I forgot. I haven't played ball in so long, man. But he gets the ball, he holds it, make a move, take a lot of difficult shots, and triple threat position. Yeah, triple threat position. Holds it, and doesn't move. Not much of a ball mover in a sense, though. And I know that's how Brad Stevens liked to play. But
you have to be able to read the defense. I don't care what the situation is on the court. Look at it in film and practicing and real game time, all different things. What you're talking about is the ability to give every player, I don't care how great or worse they were, every player had to learn how to read defenses and make the high percentage play. Yeah, that comes along in time.
Let us know in the comments section. What do you actually think? Does this all actually fall on Danny Ainge, or does it fall on Brad Stevens? It could be both in a sense, but I think my personal opinion is that these guys still have to develop. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, they only have 1 year in college, and not like 3 or 4 years in college, like how it used to be back in the days where they can actually work on limitations that they actually have to their game. But I mean, the next step for these guys is to actually make the surrounding pieces around them better. So that's going to take a couple of years for them to actually see the game like that.
They already had a couple of years. They already had a couple of years. And like I said again, reading the defenses and obviously being healthy. And you can formulate a pretty solid team, but you got to see what's out there and what's available underneath your cap. What no one talks about with Danny Ainge is how he handled the salary cap. No one's talking about that. I'll bring it up. That's why you let guys like Hayward go, because you're trying to save money. So the bottom line is, you're trying to see if you can get another star player to come over there. I mean, Boston's not a bad place to go. It's a great destination. But these guys basically have to learn how to read defenses a little bit better. When you hold on to the ball for such a long time, you are unsure where to throw the basketball. Where's the high percentage play at? So you know what? Let me just go ahead and
you don't trust the rest of your teammates. That could be it too, though.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. But for the most part, it's all about learning the process. Yeah, they say that in Philadelphia. Trust the process, right? They're winning now. So if there's a process in Boston, all right, staying healthy and trusting Jaylen Brown and Tatum, and obviously Kemba Walker might be what you're doing moving forward. Outside of that, you got that former team around them. We'll see what happens.
Okay. All right. We're going to actually wrap this up, and we're going to get right into this Dennis Schroeder story over here, man. That's actually developing, man. Look out for that video, man. It's going to come straight at you right there, man.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.